So then this is the service X92 from Birmingham to Ludlow, and this is introduced in the August holiday time, which is the summer holidays, the 6 weeks, and this is a Tuesday only service. There is another service from Birmingham done by Green Bus on a Thursdays, and that is the X94 from Birmingham to Cardiff Mill Valley, and it's the only service from Birmingham to Bridgnorth, and even to Kinver as well, and even Ironbridge as well, even going from Halzone to Bridgnorth and Ironbridge and Kinver. So it is really interesting. So we are just now going across Holloway area now. Now, as you probably know, I'm not doing the Birmingham area during this year, because as you know, we have been in a mess last year, which is of course the coronavirus. The coronavirus pandemic, COVID-19. And it has been a terrible mess, the COVID pandemic that we've all had to go through. But like we say, we are coming out of this mess, and we will get back to some kind of normality, which will possibly be towards the end of the year, or maybe towards next year, or who knows. But like I say, just don't worry about what's going on. Just always think about the YouTube channel, Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. A big shout out to Jake, who loves watching. And keep watching, mate. Because I know you're going to enjoy all the videos that I upload. And of course, as you probably know, the X92 actually avoided West Hagley. But however, we can just do this as a special 192. All just went off the road for a bit. Birmingham to Hereford rediscovered, but so just avoiding West Hagley, because I don't think it went through West Hagley, because as you know, West Hagley was blocked off. So here we are, just heading out of Birmingham. So we're now in Quinton. So this is Quinton, Hagley Road West in Quinton, if you know the area Quinton really well. And we're now heading out of Quinton, and we're now coming into part of Albury, which is actually Halesowen. And this is also shared with a 231 service from Blackheath, and also the 202 from Bromsgrove. So here we are, we're now coming down towards so this is the bottom end. So we're now in Halesowen town centre, and then we're going to start the actual journey that will take us all the way into Ludlow. And then after that we'll do the 192 Birmingham to Hereford rediscovered, but that will be a different version. It will actually be the Colmore Row one. So here we are at Halesowen bus station. 92. And this is the one for Ludlow, and also the rediscovery of the 192 existing 192 route, which is the Halesoe to Kidderminster run by Diamond Boss. Passing Claxton Pointer, Denny Stars, SLF on the service 4H towards Warsaw, which is the diamond version of the 4H. So we are just going past the turn off that was once served by the original. Between Halesoe and Kidderminster. Ahead we got a Scania Omnilink operated by National Express West Midlands, which is branded for the fours. The Warsaw to West to Blackheath, and also the 4N Warsaw to Maryhill on the 4H, Warsaw to Harley Green. So here we are, just heading away from Halesoe, and we are now coming out of the West Midlands into Worcestershire. And here's a sign: Worcestershire welcomes you. And this is where we're heading for right now. So we're now coming into the Worcestershire boundary now. So this is the entire, and we're also in part of the district of Bromsgrove, because as you know, Bromsgrove does cover most of this area, and we're also by the popular Hagley Hall. Our journey between Halesoe and Kidderminster will be the original, will be actually the 192, while the part onto Birmingham is actually done by the X10. The X92 was actually the original number, and it was the Mortimer-Ludlow service, while there was the 192 from Birmingham down to Hereford. And this narration, as you can probably tell, is actually repeated in both the X92 and the 192 videos. We're now passing the Beefeater, and also behind the Premier Ring. We are now by the Clout Hills, which is nearby, and also we're by Bossall Grove, which is a golf course just out of Hagley, and just up ahead is the iconic monument. Our journey is
There's even services from Worcester. Within to Blakedown. Blakedown is a small hamlet in Worcestershire, just outside West Hackney. There is a turn-off here where the old 197 used to head to serve the Belgorton area. Turning left is the B4188 towards Belgorton and also to Hackman's Gate. There is no service that covers that part of the route these days, as that end is being isolated. And on that run, there's a garden centre called Cherry Lane. It used to be known as Barnet Hill.
So then, this is Blakedown right now, and of course 3 miles towards Kidderminster. So as you probably can tell, we're in traffic jam, and as you probably know, I have missed a few parts of the route on the Blakedown area, but that is going to be done on the 192 video, which will come up very soon. So stay tuned on Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. We're now moving. As you probably know, we were struggling a little bit, but however, as you know, we're come to some traffic jams, so I'll see you in a short while.
Select an ISO.
Alright, we're now departing Blakedown, and we're just by the Blakedown Viaduct. So just gone past so we're now at the Blakedown Viaduct. And we're now climbing up all the way to so we're now climbing up towards so we're now heading towards Kidderminster. Crossing over the Snow Hill line, so the Snow Hill line is now to our left. The old Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway, as it was known. So we're not far away from Kidderminster on now, and coming up is Podge Hill Garden Centre. Well, Podge Hill Nurseries, which is a small garden centre, and of course there's also a farm site as well. And it's not only just a garden centre, it also sells fruit and vegetables and potatoes as well, and ice cream. So it is a popular site. So here it is, coming up Podge Hill. There used to be animals on site, but there isn't anymore. And of course, since we're coming into Kidderminster, you've got loads of connections to choose from to go to Kidderminster. And of course, you've got 2 services during August towards Ludlow. And of course, you've got service to Tenbury.
3, Tenbury Wells on the 291, done by Yarringtons. You've even got Hales Park and Barkill on the number 8, along with the rifle range. You've got Bridge North and Stowbridge on the 125. You've got, you even got Alzone, that's on this one, and the 192. You even got Kinvat on the 580, and of course you've got Warbler as well, and that also includes the 989C and the 4s, and the 4A, well the 4A goes into French, and of course you've got Spennels on the number 10s, you've got Worcesters on the 303 and the 294, you even got Redditch on the 42, that will soon be changed into the 52. You've got Droitwich on the 133, Droitwich Spa as it's known, and of course you've got, you even got Bridge North, there's even another Bridge North service, that is the 297 done by Arriva as well, and of course you do have a few of the locals as well. You've got Stourport on the 3s and the 15A and 15C as well, so that's all the routes mentioned in Kidderminster. Oh, there's a number 7 as well up to Sign Hill, which also comes on this corridor, so you've got a 7 as well, so you've got the 7s, and that's all the routes that you'll find in Kidderminster. So we're just by the Land Oak pub in Kidderminster. We're now passing a Denny start on the 192 towards Hales Owen. The Denny starts on the 192 are all exposed, and we just crossed over the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway, now the Snow Hill line. So it's both exposed starts on the 192, and I've had them on the 192 before, and I've even had them on the service oh yeah, 303 Worcester to Kidderminster. I've had them on the 303, the 42s, 43 that will soon be numbered the 52A will go Princess of Wales Hospital, so the Alexandra Hospital in Greenwich. So anyway, here we are just coming over to Kidderminster, and we will soon be crossing the Snow Hill line, and it will also be the interchange for the Severn Valley Railway from Kidderminster to Bridgenorth. Alright, we're now coming into Kidderminster town centre. Just in front we've got an ADL Enviro 200 on the number 10s, which is an ex-central buses, because as you know the central buses used to operate in the Kidderminster area on the 125 from Stowbridge up into Bridgenorth. They didn't just use ADL Enviro 200, so Opto Metro Cities versus Darts. So here is Kidderminster Railway Station for Kidderminster, and the Severn Valley Railway as well, and there's Slingfield Mills. Unfortunately we will not be serving the bus station on this journey. That is only the 292 because basically the tight lanes as well. So we are now going to be heading direct to Ludlow. So we're now heading for Ludlow. So there's Slingfield Mills. That was the Bradley Mills department store, and then it became Debenhams until they went bust during the so-called COVID pandemic, which we're in, but soon coming out of this terrible mess. And there's a Tesco Express, which used to be a Choices video shop. So there's a 192 Express start, just heading into the town of Kidderminster. Alright, we're now heading out of Kidderminster now towards so we're now heading out to Kidderminster towards Ludlow. So there's the Dunelm, which used to be the Morrisons, the old Morrisons supermarket, right there. So we're now heading on to the ring road. So this is going to be the fast and direct service towards Ludlow now, the A451, and just round beyond these trees you'll actually see the Kidderminster B&Q store, which is well, was known as B&Q Warehouse. It's now B&Q Extra, but it's still classed as B&Q Warehouse because of the design of the store. The older B&Qs were just called B&Q Superstores. So there's the B&Q. So the B&Q is just right there, just behind these trees. So B&Q is right there. So here's the B&Q Kidderminster B&Q. And just right in front is, of course, the Diamond Kidderminster bus depot. So that's the big Diamond Kidderminster bus depot, just right there. And we're now heading past the so-called Watermill pub. So here's the Watermill pub in Kidderminster. And now we're actually now covering what is currently served on the 42, the Redditch one, from Kidderminster. Well, heading to the General Hospital and then on to Redditch. So we're now heading along the road that takes the run to Stourport, but however we're going to be turning right and then left up the Bewdley Hill by the Kiddie General Hospital. So there's the turn-off point for the hospital in Kidderminster, but however we're not heading for the hospital, we're now heading for Stourport. So this route is a bit of a scenic detour, and we're actually doing a reversed version of the 292 when it comes from Ludlow into Kidderminster, because the 292 comes along this road, the Sutton Park Road, into Kidderminster and then goes past the General Hospital on return. So I assume that the X92 probably goes both ways. Went this way between Kidderminster, between the old Bung and Hereford. As we get to the top of this road, we're going to be turning off left and then heading past the West Midlands Safari Park. As you probably know, the West Midlands Safari Park is not only a park of animals, there's also an amusement site on there, there's rides as well. As you know, I've been to West Midlands Safari Park in my past and quite enjoyed it because I used to love all the different rides and attractions. So this is the top end of the Bewdley Hill, and we're now going to head past the West Midlands Safari Park. we're just going past the safari park, and we're now heading for Bewdley, which is the Georgian town. Coming to Bewdley, the historic riverside town, and here's a turn off there for Leinster Airport and Tenbury and Ludlow. However, we're heading for Bewdley, so we're now going to head onto the B4190 that's going to take us into Bewdley, and we're just coming through Rivenal, which is just up ahead. So we're just going past Catham's End, Chippy, and this is Catham's End, and there's Rivenal Estate over there, served by the number 8 from Rock to Hale Park, and here comes the Church of Rivenal, the so-called Church All Saints. Oh well. So we're now going across Queensway. This is Bewdley on the riverside. And then of course you got the church that's right in the middle of the town. So as you know, Bewdley before the coronavirus actually suffered with severe flooding. Of course, at Bewdley you've got connections to the 296 to Worcester. So here we are. Here's the river, right there. So we're now in Bewdley town centre. Alright, we're just now leaving Bewdley now. So, as you probably know, Coniston used Mercedes motors. They had a coach, they even had Optare Solos, Optare Solo SRs, and since it was taken over by Astons, they use a coach, and of course mainly they use ADL Enviro 200, street lights, even the wheel forward street light, and of course an E300. So here we are coming out of Bewdley right now, and we're now going to turn off up this tighter road. So we're going to head on the A456, which heads over towards Tenbury area, but that will also take us onto Ludlow. Now, as you know, these roads are very tight. Now, as you probably remembered, Green Bus during the coronavirus introduced a service 242, which was the Maryhill to Kimber on the trial basis and only runs Stourbridge to Kimber, and they also introduced the 582 Kidderminster to Wolverhampton, which was a Saturday shopper service, and I did that in a Gemini, which was a bit like this one. And 242 I've been on the Tridents, Plattsburgh Presidents, and even a Gemini. So I've had all sorts on the 242. Claxton President, a Gemini and a Trident. Turn off is for Barkill, and that is served by the number 8, and I'm so glad that Barkill's now got a service once again, and Hales Park's that side, served by the number 8. The 8 on this area used to be the 2, and the 2 was suspended during the Corona pandemic, but however it was reinstated a year ago today. But that is now numbered the 8, and I did it a year ago tomorrow. Well, in 2 days' time. We're now at the roundabout at the Far Forest area, countryside show, which is coming up, but we're not yet at the Far Forest. That there is the Bewdley bypass, and that is only rarely used in case Bewdley gets flooded. And there's Wharton Park. So we're now heading on to the A456, which heads towards Manchester, and that is covered in the 192 Birmingham to Hereford rediscovered. And of course, heading down this way is heading towards Temporary and Ludlow. So the routes that come down this route is this corridor is the one. So there's the running horse. Routes that come up and down this route is the 291 Kidderminster to Tenpin Wells, which used to be known as, which is now operated by it's now operated by Yarrington's. It used to be operated by R&B Travel, and also a small company called Hollands that used to do the nines, Kidderminster to Country Circular, and they still do a service. They still do a service. 220 Clouds Top to Clibberry Mortimer, which connects in between the both routes. And of course, and it all started off with First Midlands in Kidderminster, because as you know, First used to operate the Kidderminster depot before Diamond. And then the other route that comes up here mainly is of course the 292, which is the Kidderminster to Ludlow, which is once again back with Diamond since it started, since they took it over from R&B 2020 before the coronavirus, and R&B had the 292 off Diamond when it was the 2L, when it used to go all around the estates. Coming up is the White Forest area, so this is how it gets its name, because of the forest here, run by the National Trust course, Diamond also did the 292 originally under the original number from when it started back in the Midland Red days, and of course Central Connect, which also was part of Diamond, also did the one on the 292. So this is the same route as the 292 towards Ludlow all the way out. So here's Blissgate and here's the Royal Forester. Of course the 291 does do a turn off on this little road here, but however that's only at most certain times, as the 291 does a lot of request locations with the likes of Rock, which is a small hamlet out on that end, on the outskirts. And of course you've got Bayton as well. Up ahead is the Clee Hills, which is right on the top, and there's the Bowling Green right here. So Far Forest and Clibberry, so it's 1 mile to the Far Forest and 4 miles to Clibberry Mortimer. And we're heading for Clibberry Mortimer right now. So here we are, going under the trees now. So here's the plough pub in the Far Forest. As you know, it's one of the best pubs today. And up ahead is the Clee Hills, which is ahead of us. which I assume is a campsite or supply site. Heads towards Worcester, but there's no service that goes across this way, and we're now at Morley Oak. Of course, we're by Morley Oak now. Just ahead of us is a wind turbine, electric windmill. However, there's no wind today, so no point of it being in operation. We'll also be passing the 292 at the Diamond version of the Ludlow, which is the main service to Ludlow from Kidminster, which should be passing us anytime soon. So we're not far away from Clibber Mortimer. Windmill's moving slightly. So turning off goes to the Pioneer Centre, and here is Clee Hills that's right up ahead. So we're not far away from the Clee Hills now, and we're not far away from Clibber Mortimer. So we're nearly in Clibber Mortimer, so we haven't got far to go. So we're doing Clibber Mortimer, and then we'll be on to Ludlow. Weather today is a nice clear day. So we've got a nice clear day in Ludlow today over the Clee Hills, and then we'll head on towards Ludlow. So here we are, nearly arriving Clibber. So this is Clibber Mortimer. So the gateway to Shropshire. Well, we're in Shropshire now. Which is the small village that heads in the direction towards Ludlow. And here there's pubs here in Clibber, and here's an old petrol station that's now been converted into a garage. And of course there's a bowling green, and of course loads of community services here, parish hall. And here's the church in Clibber Mortimer. So we're just now arrived in Clibber Mortimer, which is just outside of Ludlow. So here's the Royal Fountain Inn. And here's the pub, church, right here in Clibber. So then we're just now in Clibber right now. So this is Clibber Mortimer. And then we're going to head over the Clee Hills, and that will take us all the way into Ludlow. So it is really interesting to see two competing companies on this same corridor. Got Diamond, which is the main service, and of course we got Green Bus, which is this service that they put on during the holidays. And I'm really happy. Of course, Green Bus did do service work before, but mainly they do like works for the schools, the rail replacements and private hires. And they did do a tendered route last year, the 38, that's now the 42, West Heath to the QE. It used to just go Selly out to Northfield as well. So now waiting in Clibbery, so there should be a 292 service that's going to pass in a minute towards Kidderminster. So the 292 shall be passing us any minute now. So just going past the lamps, and of course there's a co-op here. Of course there is a school version of the 292 called the 292S. It used to be known as the 2S. Kidderminster to Clibbery Mortimer. There was a school service of the 292. So there's the Clibbery Mortimer Medical Centre. And there's the sign for the Glen Cowan Park at Caverton. And as you know, we'll be nearly in Ludlow, and Ludlow has got connections to different destinations, and you've got destinations like we've got the town, the park and ride, we've got Shrewsbury on the 435, and of course you've got Hereford, well we've got Leicester, and then you can connect beyond Leicester to Hereford. Of course we've got Cardington, which is basically Cardington as well. Of course you do have and you have different companies in Ludlow. Like you've got Green Bus, which is doing this service for the time being, and of course you've got Diamond, you've got Long the Valley, you've got Minsterley, you've got Reba. Of course Reba do a service from Ludlow down to Knighton, which is on the border of Wales. There's some sheep just over here, because as you know there's sheep on the Clee Hills itself, and we're now heading for the Clee Hills right now. we're just now just gone over the one-way traffic system. As you know, there's a one-way traffic between across the Clee Hills, so it is making certain trips late, especially with the likes of the 292 Kidderminster to Ludlow, so there will be like a slight delay. And hang on, Wren's Nest, very interesting to see a random area located within Shropshire, Wren's Nest. You'd find that in Dudley on the 81s, 82s, 27, 27A. Very interesting. As you know, we're going slow because of all these roadworks, but we shall soon pick up speed when we get to the end. So here's the Clee Hill Church here. So here's the Earls Ditton. Now we're going over the cattle breed. So that was the cattle breed. So here's Clee Hills where all the sheep are. So then we're just now climbing up to the top end of Clee Hill, so we've got one more steep climb. And we should soon be passing the 292 towards Kidderminster while we're heading into Ludlow, so we've got a few more climbs to make. So here we are climbing up now. So the hill, so we're just now at Cornbrook Corner, so this is Cornbrook, and there's a quarry right up there as well. There's even a disc, a radar dish on the other hill, which is also part of Clee Hills. So this is Clee Hill Village coming up. And further down there is towards Bristol. So here we are now at Clee Hill Village. So we're now on the top end of the Clee Hills, and there's the quarry that's right up there. So now heading down towards X92 towards Kidderminster. So then we're now heading down the slope. There used to be a service from Ludlow to Bridge North. It was called the 141. There was even a 143 here as well, and that was done by R&D. The 141 was also done by a Reaver 13. And that was done by the Shrewsbury Depot. Not in use temporary traffic lights. it's not served by any other town links. Got maybe one day, right? Alright, so we just now arrived into Ludlow after a journey from Halesowen, a historic journey as it was, the old Midland Red West First service. So this journey has done a good mile an hour all the way from Giddy, and also a good journey from Halesowen. Of course, here's the Catholic Church coming up, and of course you got Ludlow Castle, which is in the centre of town. So you've got Ludlow Castle, you even got Ludlow Railway Station, the train station, which is on the Welsh Marches line, which gives connections to the likes of Shrewsbury, Manchester, Piccadilly, and also to Cardiff in South Wales. So welcome to Ludlow, guys. I hope you enjoyed the trip from Kidderminster and Halesowen, and also the partial virtual one from Birmingham. And we will there will be another virtual one on the 192 rediscovered, but for the X92 it's the end of the journey. So just now descent, so now heading down to Ludlow town. So we're going to go, I think we might just have to do a turn off because basically there's a low bridge ahead of us, which we can manage to get under it. Which is on the Welsh Marches line, because as you know the bridge is a bit low for the deckers. Let's see if we can get through. I'm sure we can get through the bridge. We're going to get through. Yes! So here's Malvern tyres. So welcome to Ludlow, guys, once again. Course up ahead, and I think this was when they first introduced the original 292. When it was our own bit. So here's the subway in Ludlow. So there's a subway that's, however, sadly it's out of town, means you have to walk along part of the 435. So we're now joined with the 435 that terminates here from Shrewsbury. So that way goes towards Shrewsbury, and of course we've got the South Shropshire Leisure Centre. And I've been past that on the 435. So welcome to the beautiful town of Ludlow. Church in Ludlow, the main church, right in the centre of town. So that is it. Thank you very much for watching this video. A big shout out to all my subscribers who love watching them. Keep watching, like I say, got more videos yet to come. And that brings the end to this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and the journey will continue beyond here, but starting from, I assume, at the assembly rooms area, which is just on the other side of town, and that will continue as a 490 down to Leicester, but that's done virtual. And then we've got the old 490 that will take us into Hereford.
So then we're now arriving into Ludlow, and this is the completion of the X92 service from Halesowen. So here we are just now arriving into Ludlow after a lovely journey from Halesowen, And thank you for watching this video. Big shout out to David and Kimberly who love watching the channel. Keep watching Dave and Kimberly because there'll be more videos yet to come. So I am going to make a few more videos for the channel very soon. So just enjoy the remainder of the journey around Ludlow.
So here's the train station in Ludlow. Up ahead. Of course, you got there used to be a co-op in here, but that co-op's now gone. Of course, you've got Tesco as well and Aldi. So there are two major supermarkets in the town. So here we are, now arriving into Ludlow, where the service completed its trip. There's the old co-op store there. It's now boarded up. So this is the old terminus at Packer Court, Lower Gardiford, part of Upper Gardiford. So this is Packer Court. We'll be terminating in the High Street. And down there is the coach park, where you'll find all the buses. You've got Arriva, Optare, Solo right there, parked up. So you've got Arriva, Optare, and of course you've got the Minsley bus. So I think we'll be parking up at the coach area. So yep, here we are, that's it.
Where does that go then, Joe? 722?
732.
Yeah.
Not 722.
Yeah.
I think that's a park and ride. So anyway, that's it. End of the journey. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again for another Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures vlog. Until then,
All nice and
bye for now, and I'll see you again very soon.